Okay, so a lot of things have changed so far. Um, my 35 has been an amazing teacher. I've taken things from like Chinese wrestling. I've taken things from Ivan Tikon, just noticing his very level plane, but it was uh, it was just trying to simplify it into thinking that it was walking more than anything and committing to it. Uh, Something that's very subtle and it's changed the ball. Uh, it's changed um, the point of entry on every turn. It's changed where the ball placement is on every turn. The Because I watch Ivan Tikon and he gets the ball out in front of him. Um, and I hate using the term push, but uh, it came from his fellow Belarusian uh, Vadim Divitovsky, and his entrance to every turn was everyone what people would presume to be low, and I looked at that, and considering my background, all I saw was it's an entry to a throw. It's an entry to a hip throw, or it's a number of throws that you can use from that particular entry. So the throw of the hammer throw, because of the direction that you're trying to present to the ball, it's more. I'm thinking more of a suplex, but because it is a rotational throw, you're turning in a circle. I don't give a shit. I mean, what? Yes, it's a linear throw, but at the end of the day, you're turning in a circle. So there's still things that you can learn from turning in a circle and optimally throwing or turning in a circle. How do you turn? And so it would I had to redefine how I turned, and which redefined how I threw people. And I think I'm the first one to ever cross those paths. I know I'm the first person to ever cross those paths of Chinese wrestling, of Shuai Jiao, and the hammer throw. There's no fucking way that I could see anybody else doing that. Uh, Throwing people in correlation to throwing implements is probably the greatest parallel I've ever drawn. And then making those those ideas uh, applicable to not just one to the other, but coinciding. So as I get better at one, it makes the other thing better, and vice versa. Uh, Incredibly interesting. The timing of the throw. When does the throw actually begin versus when do you actually throw it? Was a huge distinction. But the entrant, and I mean, there's hardly a point of trying to explain something that nobody has ever really done. But that's how I'm correlating it, is through my practice as a Shuaijiao person or a Chinese wrestling person, to the hammer throw, and then, but that's just within the entrance, and then after the entrance and the ball gets to its low point, you just walk. Very like mind-boggling stuff, because I didn't like. It's very you're very. It doesn't feel right. It feels like it's like you're not applying effort, which is such a weird thing to say because that's kind of what you want. Uh, I never, yeah, I've never done that. And so today was the first day that I've actually committed to it. And man, there was some big tosses with my 35. And my other, the other thing that I attribute to all of this is my 35. My 35 will look exactly like my 16, which will look exactly like my 6K, 2018, whatever. Because the pattern doesn't change. And if the pattern doesn't change, then it doesn't matter what the ball is. It's just the difference is that I can do a lot of things with a 35 without having to worry about it, without worrying about like falling or applying any effort or anything like that. The ball will hold me up, so I don't have to apply effort. I don't want to get good at throwing a 35 or throwing really far with a 35, and then it not coinciding with the distances of the lighter implements. It doesn't make any sense. I'm using it as a training tool. I'm using it as a teacher, and it's been incredibly helpful. Uh, I know I've gotten off for sure, uh, because it's addicting. It's addicting when I can do whatever I want, and it just kind of sucks when you go to a lighter weight and it's just not. Uh, and I can't maneuver the way I would like to maneuver. And so I like the idea that I can troubleshoot with my 35 and then take that take those concepts, take it to lighter implements, and then see how it works. Uh, because I want Just because it works with the 35 does not mean that it's going to work with the 6K. But my technique is better with the 35 than it is the lighter implements. So I want to figure out why that is. I can't just allow this to continue on thinking that, uh, and be unconscious of what I'm doing with my turns. So it was a very successful day. Uh, I'm gonna call it. I've only been sticking with a few throws, especially if it's a thinking practice. Like I've never done this before, so it is a definite learning curve. Not just to figure out the coordination of it. Uh, it looks good. The timing looks correct. Timing looks correct. I mean, there's really nothing I have. That's why I called it, because there was nothing else that I could think of. It felt good. The distances were where they needed to be for sure, and it felt good. So solid practice.